Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will discuss the Plasmodium species. So to remember this through the picture memory, you can see that this is a gem box which reminds us that the smear for this is done through the GEMSA stain. If thick smear appears, then we will do the screening, and if thin smear appears, then we will do the species identification. And in this picture you can see that the red four spots are present in this box, which reminds us that there are the four species of the Plasmodium: Plasmodium malaria, ovale and the vivax, and the falciparum. So this man, you can see that this is one is dirty man, which reminds us that this is the Plasmodium malaria. And Plasmodium malaria, it causes the quatern malaria. Quatern fever cycle होता है इनका. Quatern is remembered from the 4 buttons, and these buttons reminds us that the fever is high at the first and the 4th day. Now coming towards the Plasmodium vivax and the ovale, which is represented by this warlord with shield and X, and इसके हाथ में आप लोग देखिए तो ये रिंग टाइप जो है स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रेजेंट है. So its swinging ball reminds us that it produces the dormant hypnocytes in the liver, and it causes the tertian fever cycle. That is, fever is the high as the first and the 3rd day. Now coming towards the Plasmodium falciparum, it is shown by this joint man, which is mirroring the false mask, which is meant by that this is the falciparum, and it has the irregular fever pattern, which is reminded by this irregular torn shirt. ये हमें याद दिलाता है कि इसका जो है इरेगुलर फीवर पैटर्न है. एंड इसके हेड पे आप लोग देखें तो ये रेड कलर की एक कैप पहनी है, जिसकी जो है आउट ग्रोथ जी हुई है, तो वो बनाना शेप्ड है. सो इट शोज ऑन माइक्रोस्कोपी इट अपीयर्स एज द बनाना शेप्ड ऑन द पेरिफेरल स्मेयर. एंड द रेड, it shows that it causes the neurological symptoms. जो parasitized RBCs होंगे, they will occlude the brain, kidney and the lungs. Now coming towards its treatment, as you can see in this picture that this color queen is shown, which is wearing all the different colors of its jewelry. So this reminds us that chloroquine, it blocks the Plasmodium gene polymerase. And next you can see that this queen, this is the primaquine. Primaquine with chloroquine is given for the Plasmodium vivax and the ovale, which produces the hypnozoites in the liver. But to be careful that it should not be given in the G6PD deficiency. Now this queen, it's remembered by its name is Me Fly Queen, and with traveler bags. So it reminds us that is mefloquine. Mefloquine is given for the chloroquine resistant areas for the travelers. यानी हम लेफ्लोक्वीन देते हैं फॉर द ट्रैवलर्स जिनका इरादा हो टू द क्लोरोक्वीन रेजिस्टेंट एरियाज. नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वीन, यू कैन सी दिस इज एटोवेम्पायर क्वीन इन द planquine in the inguina backpacks. So this reminds us that is atovoquine with proguanil for the travelers in Caribbean areas. This artist, you can see, it reminds us that artemisions for the treatment of the Plasmodium falciparum, as it is near to the Plasmodium falciparum, so it reminds us that artemisions are given with atovaquine for the Plasmodium falciparum species. And in this hand you can see that it is holding an X which has a sickle shape. So it reminds us that the sickle cell trait is protective against the Plasmodium falciparum. Now in this backward queen, you can see that it reminds us that it is the dining queen with tin cans, and the dress she is wearing, which reminds us that is IV intravenous quinidine is given for the resistant Plasmodium falciparum, and the side effect is that it can cause a synchronism. Now coming towards briefly the life cycle of the Plasmodium, you can remember is by this cow, which reminds us this mushrooms, and the mushrooms are presenting that the Anopheles mosquito carry the sporozoites in the saliva. Saliva के अंदर उनके sporozoites present होते हैं. जब वो human को bite करते हैं तो वो जो sporozoites हैं they are transported to the liver, जहाँ पे उनकी maturation हो जाती है और they form the trophozoites. ट्रोफोजॉइड्स जो हैं दे आर कन्वर्टेड इनटू द मीरोजॉइड्स. मीरोजॉइड्स जो हैं वो बर्स्ट हो जाते हैं फ्रॉम द हेपेटोसाइट एंड देन दे इन्फेक्ट द आरबीसीज एंड द लाइफ साइकिल कंटिन्यूज इन द आरबीसीज एज इट इज़. ऑल्सो समटाइम्स कि जो ये हमारे पास ये गैमीट्स का जो है सिंबल शो किया गया है कि जो मीरोजॉइड है दे कैन ऑल्सो फॉर्म द गैमीटोसाइट, जो कि मॉस्क्वीटो जो है वो अपने पास ले लेता है एंड द सेक्शुअल साइकिल इन द गट continues. So some more important points that definitive host is the female mosquito, intermediate host is the humans and mosquito के अंदर भी जो life cycle होती है that is zygote से ookinete बनता है, ookinete से oocyst, oocyst से sporocytes and sporocytes are converted into the salivary glands and then these mosquito is matured and adult and then it bites the humans and all the cycle which I discussed that continues. फीचर्स क्या होंगे? आरबीसी डिस्ट्रक्शन की वजह से एनीमिया एंड हेपेटोस्प्लीनोमेगेली होती है एंड प्लाज्मोडियम फेल्सिपेरम इट इन्फेक्ट्स ऑल द आरबीसी स्टेजेस, सो इट इज हाईली पैरासिटीमिया. कैपिलरी ब्लॉकेज लीड्स टू सेरिब्रल मलेरिया, रीनल फेलियर एंड द ब्लैक वाटर फीवर. वाइवेक्स एंड मलेरिया जो है ये सेलेक्टिव आरबीसीज को इन्फेक्ट करता है, सो इट कॉजेज द माइल्ड इन्फेक्शन. As we have discussed, sickle cell trait, G6PD deficiency and the Diffie antigen negativity, they are resistant to the Plasmodium vivax, means they are protective. How we will do the lab diagnosis? We will do the Gemster stain, blood smear or peripheral smear. For Plasmodium falciparum, I have shown that their banana-shaped gametocytes will be aware. Vivax, ovale and malaria, they will show the round gametocytes. And Schnuffer's dots are present in the vivax and the ovale, and hemozoin pigment is also present. PCR or ELISA if smear is negative. How we prevent it? As I discussed that the for chloroquine resistant areas that was a mefloquine and for the atovaquine with proguanil was also used. Tefnoquine is also used for the long acting analog and it is avoided in the G6PD deficiency. Mosquito nets which is treated with insecticide. Repellents and protective clothing is also the same prevention and drain the sexton water. Still no vaccine is available but these preventive measures can reduce the disease. So here ends the Plasmodium malaria species. Hope you like the video. Like, subscribe and share with your friends. Also drop a comment. Thanks for watching.